Eala loses to Chinese Wang Xinyu in ASB Classic Semifinals. Manila, Philippines. 7th seed Chinese Wang Xinyu survived match point and dashed Filipino Eala's finals hope with a 5-7, 7-5, 6-4 win in the ASB Classic Semifinals in Auckland, New Zealand on Saturday. The 4th-seeded Eala bounced back from a 1-5 deficit to win the opening set. Forced the decider. Trailing again in the second set, 2-3, Eala grabbed the lead at 5-3, but Wang swept the next 4 games to force the decider. Wang led 4-0 in the third set before Eala rallied to within 4-5. The Chinese then won the next 2 games to claim the match in just under 3 hours. Read, no doubt Eala is biggest PH Sports Figure of the Year. Wang said Eala was an absolute fighter. Crazy battle. It was a crazy battle from the start to the end, for sure. I feel more pressure when I'm up 5-0 than when we were love. I'm just really happy that I got through this one today and through to my first ever final here, Wang said in the post-match interview. Read, Eala, partner bow to Chinese duo in ASB Classic doubles semis. The ASB Classic website reported that hundreds of Filipinos snapped up ground passes and gathered around center court and giant screens to cheer on Eala, creating one of the loudest atmospheres of the tournament. Wang, 24, will play in her second career final following a runner-up finish at the Berlin Open in June last year. She will face top seed Elena Svitolina of Ukraine, a 7-6, 5, 6-2 winner over third seed Iva Jovic of the United States. We practiced together before the tournament, so I knew what to expect from her. Even then, she's really surprised me with the way she's striking the ball and moving really well. Many more titles for her to come. Definitely in the future, the world number 31 Svitolina said about her 18-year-old opponent. Eala beat number 5 Marga Linette of Poland, 6-3, 6-2, in the quarterfinal on Friday. Her other victories were over Croatian's Dana Vekic, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4, first round, and Petra Marcinko, 6-0, 6-2, second round. Heart and grit in Auckland. The tale of Eala's ASB Classic semifinal. Chelsea light cut across autumn skies at the ASB Tennis Center in Auckland, where an electric atmosphere charged through the stands. Among tennis lovers and especially Filipino supporters flown in from across the globe, a familiar name was on everyone's lips, Eala. At just 20 years old, Eala had already become a symbol of rising promise in women's tennis. Her presence signified aspiration, a daughter of Filipino grit breaking through the glass ceilings of a sport long dominated by European, American, and Australian powerhouses. This moment wasn't just another match. It was a test of mentorship, resilience, and self-belief, and it came on one of the brightest stages she'd ever played on. Her opponent was China's Wang Xinyu, a seasoned competitor with her own ambitions burning bright. The two were destined to meet in a clash of styles, determination, and willpower that would extend well into the evening. The roller coaster begins. The start of their semifinal was a jolt. Wang Xinyu came out swinging with confidence and precision, rapidly securing a 4-0 lead in the opening set. It seemed as though Wang was dictating terms early, her powerful ground strokes firing deep into Eala's corners. But if there's one thing that defines Eala, it's her unflinching resolve. Down but not defeated, Eala shifted gears. With elastic court coverage and steely focus, she began clawing her way back. Game by game, she chipped into Wang's advantage. A rally that drew cheers and gasps from the crowd became a testament to her tenacity. Before long, she had rewound fate itself, winning 6 straight games to take the first set 7-5. This wasn't just skill, it was heart. The kind that resonates with anyone who's ever faced adversity and refused to give up. A match on a knife's edge. The second set began with a tense rhythm. Wang rebounded early, pushing ahead, but Eala responded with calm aggression. She snapped back aggressively, turning a 0-2 deficit into a 5-3 lead, and served for the match. For a moment, it felt like history, perhaps her first W to final. Then something almost cinematic occurred. A match point slipped away. Wang, sensing danger, played with cool resolve. She clawed back, winning 4 games in a row, and edged the second set 7-5 to force a decider. The stadium, fully electrified, held its breath as the match evolved into an almost 3-hour battle of wills, a tennis marathon where momentum swung like a pendulum. Final set, triumph and heartbreak. In the third set, Wang surged to an early 3-0 lead, and then quickly 5-1. Though her physical energy was visibly strained, and with reports indicating she even took a medical timeout for persistent lower back spasms, Alex refused to quit. It would have been understandable if she faltered. Her body had been tested, her breath heavy, her muscles burning. But this was Eala, fighter, adversary to defeat, wearer of relentless ambition. She dug deep, eking out 3 consecutive games to narrow the deficit to 5-4. For one stunning moment, the improbable loomed within reach again, an echo of her rally in the first set. Yet this time, Wang held serve, clinching the set 6-4 in the match. The scoreboard lit her victory, but what it didn't show was the depth of Alex's performance, the grit, the athletic artistry, and the emotional crescendo that enthralled tennis fans around the world. The aftermath, close, but so much gained. As the players embraced at the net, there were no surprises in sportsmanship, just mutual respect. Wang, advancing to the final of the ASB Classic, would go on to face another elite contender. Alex, though on the losing side, left with more than just an exit from a tournament. She walked away with 98 valuable WTA ranking points, ensuring a possible new career-high ranking inside the top 50. A prize purse of $12,331, modest by tennis standards, but symbolic of her rising stature. A renewed surge of confidence days before the Australian Open, a Grand Slam that looms large on every player's calendar. And perhaps most importantly, a show of resilience that stories are made of. Reflection, beyond the scoreboard. In her own words, Alex shared on social media, "So close yet so far." Those words carry layered meaning. On the surface, they hinted at the narrow miss, the slim margins between triumph and defeat. But beneath that is a truth every athlete knows, that growth often comes from the moments that test you most. Her run reminded many why sports are compelling. It isn't always about winning. It's about pushing boundaries. It's about standing up after each fall. It's about a young woman from the Philippines holding her own under international spotlight, and doing so with dignity and fight. Support poured in from Filipino fans online, celebrating both the effort and the impact of her run. Comments reflected admiration, hope, and the belief that Eala is one of the faces of the sport, not merely for her emerging tennis skills, but for her tenacity and spirit. This isn't a story of defeat, it's a story of arrival. What comes next? For Eala, the end of her ASB Classic journey signals the beginning of her next chapter. She now prepares for the Kuyang Classic, a tune-up event before the season's first Grand Slam.